Today we're looking at reflections of Jesus in the Old Testament. This is Isaiah 5 through 8. Isaiah had seen the glory of God. And in verse 5, he said his mouth was so unclean he could not speak in the presence of God. In verse 6, an angel takes a hot coal from the altar. He uses tongues. He doesn't touch it himself. With that hot coal, he touches Isaiah's mouth. Then tells Isaiah his iniquity is taken away and his sin is purged. Then in verse 8, Isaiah stands before God and says, "Send me." The burning coal represents the fire of God's judgment which was placed on Jesus. Notice the angel had to use tongues to touch the coals, but Isaiah could touch the coals person to person. That's because Jesus' sacrifice wasn't for angels but for us. Also in verse 5, he was so dirty he felt afraid to speak. After being touched by the burning coals, he stood before God and spoke boldly. This represents the boldness that being purged by Christ gives us with God. Isaiah 5 through 8, a reflection of Christ.